So let me give you an example of a 90-day plan for a salesperson. I'll show you the before and after. Okay? How many people in this room have someone working for them or you're in sales? Probably everybody, right? Okay. So you sit down as a sales director or an owner of a company and you say, we want to develop a sales strategy, I want to hire a new salesperson, and I want to conduct sales training. Great. What do you do? How do you know you agree with who's going to do it? Or who's going to do it? Maybe you, and it may be people working for you. So here's what typically people do. Of course, no one in this room, but the people that you coach. They say, we're going to develop a sales strategy, and in August we're going to draft it, and in September we're going to review it and refine it, and we're going to approve it in October. We're hiring a new salesperson, we're developing a job description, we're going to create and circulate the job, review resumes, conduct interviews. Is that enough? Is that what you typically see? If that much, right? So what could this look like? A 90-day plan, to make it reasonable to do and effective, uses two things. One is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. What's the 20% of your customers that make up 80% of your sales? What's the 20% of your inventory that makes up 80% of your costs? What's the 20% of your employees that make up 80% of your aggravation? Right? What's the 20% of the reason codes that you have poor customer service? What are those complaints? If you always focus on the 80-20, you don't have a 90-day plan this long. You have a 90-day plan within one page. And we're going to show you what that could look like. Then you also need to have a simple time frame chart where you can look at the task and who's going to do those tasks, when they're going to do those tasks, because if I look at tasks lined up and I see how long they take, I may say, wow, there's too many to do in the first week. I'm overbooked. Everyone here works half days, is that right? Any 12 hours you want? But if you look at a plan, it may be more than 12 hours. So you can't always assign things to yourself. You have to align them and see what they look like. So let's take a look at this. Here's a 90-day plan. It's the same one, but it's starting out. You sit down with your boss and you say, okay, let's develop a sales strategy. What are the 6 steps? You develop a draft, you schedule a meeting, you send the draft a few days before the meeting, you conduct the strategy, review session, you make the changes. Do you see how you lay that out? And then to avoid assumptions, you have a column that says, I'm going to use Word, and it's going to be kept to 5 or 7 pages. So see, every one of these, you're setting expectations. We're going to schedule the meeting for 2 hours, or we're going to, when we screen the resumes that come in, what's the sorting criteria? What are the criteria we're going to use to sort these resumes? Is it experience? Is it academic? What's it going to be? That is what the initial meeting is about. It's laying out what has to be done in the 6 or 8 steps and give me some clarity in those steps. Now that I agree with my boss or my subordinate, I put it into a timeline. So it's those same steps, and it says, okay, who's going to do it? Sally, Fred, Sarah, Bill. And what's the status? Is it red, that I'm in trouble, it's not going to get done? Is it yellow, which is caution, I'm falling behind but I'm going to catch up? Or is it green, I'm on schedule? And am I 100% complete, or am I on schedule and 25% complete? So if you look at a plan like this, and I'm laying this out, I can say, well, there's no weeks that I'm really double booked or triple booked. It's manageable, because how many plans keep changing and changing and changing? You're better off planning it, doing it right, and setting the right expectations, because it's demotivating when you keep failing.